So for lips, once again, just like for the eyes, put in all of the skin around your eye and then go ahead and put in a base layer. So base layer is recording the value that you see on your reference image. So on your lips, what you'll mostly notice is that your bottom lip tends to be lighter than your top lip, because actually if you look at yourself in profile, you'll see that it actually stands out a little bit more from the top lip, and typically your light source is coming from above you. So put in those base values and make sure that they look as 3D as possible. So once you have the base values in, what you're going to want to do is put in the little details. So often, depending on where your light source is, you might have a little bit of a highlight above the top of your lips, and then you have the little bow part here, this Cupid's bow, right? Where probably part of it is in shadow. And so this might be like a gradual transition. So if you need to, you might want to smudge it with your finger or with a blending stump, but press really lightly if you're using the blending stump so that you don't wipe off more than you want, right? Notice how I'm shading with the contour, so I'm thinking about the curves of the cheeks and such around the edges too. So keep shading with the contours from where these details lie. So when it actually comes to your lip, typically the line in between your two lips is going to be your darkest. So go in there, define that edge. If there's a gradual transition, you can, smooth it out, make it kind of subtle. And then start to put in the texture. So notice where some of those cracks and crevices are on your mouth, and how these lines are going to want to be put in to make your lips look more 3D. So I can, kind of define it, kind of going up and around so that it's bulbous. All right, I can put in some of the lines for the top of my mouth. All right. Maybe some of these have to be blended a little bit more subtle. We don't want to necessarily make them look hairy, but you're going to want to shade with the form. So I can always go back in here and blend a little bit. And even when I'm smudging with the contours. Kind of soften it up. You can even, smudge with your fingers a little bit, soften it up. And then you could always, as your finishing touch, just kind of go in and put in some of those major texture lines that you see on your lips. So like maybe I even have like a dark line that I want to put in. All right, I can kind of soften it up by tapping on it. Right. Kind of defining those lips a little bit. So I feel like these need a little bit more work, but that will at least give you a basic understanding.